Welcome to the Indigo Room, and this is day 20 of our APT series. Assume that it is real, act as if it's already done, praise and thanksgiving.
Welcome to the Indigo Room. Serenity ahead.
Here we go, it's the indigo, sending the best and bliss, yes, so let's go. Bringing brainwaves to a higher plane, manifest your world, shaking the mundane. Shift up, make moves inspired, change self-worth, the words taking you higher. Bring forth your serenity, forget words like destiny. Cause the path to choose is up to you, so make your move to find the way in you. Touch the sky on mellow high, and spirits rise, and winds of change. So yes, I invite you, so come on through. See how we do in the Indigo Room, yeah.
Welcome to the Indigo Room.
Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Welcome back to another episode of the Indigo Room. This is where we discuss all things spiritual. I'm your host, Sydney Chase. By that, I mean that we are non physical spiritual beings having physical human experiences. Life is supposed to be good. It's supposed to be delicious. It's supposed to be fun. Sometimes it gets wicky wacky. We got tools for that. How you doing? Today is day 20 of our APT series for manifesting your desires, assuming that it is real, acting as if it's already done, praise and thanksgiving. So our topic tonight is Jericho. What? That's what I said. I just want to say hello to everybody. Hi, Linda. How you doing? Hey, Momo. Good to see you. Funky double zeros in the house. Hey, Funky, Funky, Momo, Linda. How y'all doing? Woo! It is cold in New York City today. Hi, Barb. Hi, Barb. It's freaking cold. Okay? Just saying. That is why I have a scarf on and this sweater. Got the little heater on underneath my feet down here. Because I'm freezing. I don't know. I think let me look. It was like 18 degrees all day. It's still 18 degrees. It didn't change. It's been 18 degrees all day. I went out to walk Miss Cleopatra and I was like, girl, just do your business so we can get back in the house. Because even my little office in here is cold. And I have sealed off the windows and I don't know where the cold is coming from, child. Woo! Lord have mercy. It's freezing in Wisconsin too. Bob said it's freezing here in southeast Wisconsin too. 8 degrees. Okay. I'm a little bit warmer than you. I'd rather be here than there right now. I'd rather be here than there. Okay, so we're going to tickle our amygdala first. And then our topic for tonight is Jericho. You remember that story in the Bible? Hey, Yas Gold. Hello, Yas Gold. I love that name. I don't know why. Anyway, we're going to tickle our amygdala. We all know where the amygdala is, but if you are new to the channel and you just got here, you just fell out of the planet from someplace. Your amygdala is right here, right above your temples. And when your amygdala is clicked closed, you are in fright or flight mode. You can't think your way out of a paper bag. But when your amygdala is clicked open, you feel better. It lights up your frontal lobe. And this is where your third eye is. And you just feel good. You're able to be calmer. You might be smiling, hopefully. I always smile when I tickle my amygdala. Disclaimer. If you are driving a car, riding a bike, walking, or just standing somewhere doing some work, sit down for a minute or just stop where you are. Because, the best way to do this is with your eyes closed. So I want you all to just close your eyes and imagine that you have a feather in your hand, right? We all know the drill. Get your feather. What does your feather look like? And what does your feather feel like? Give it the tones of reality, like you're feeling your fingers, right? You want to feel that quill right in between your two fingers and roll it around there. Feel that, feel that feather. See that feather spinning around between your two fingers. And then you want to just feel it, right? You want to get the good feel of what your feather feels like. Are the bristles soft? Is it fluffy? What does it feel like? And once you get that all situated in your imagination, you all should be like magicians at doing this right now, practitioners, skilled. You want to lift it up into the center of your forehead and then slide it over to the right and tickle your amygdala on the right, and then slide it over to the left and tickle your amygdala on the left, and pull your feather out of your head. It's quite a brain hack. It helps you to use your skills, to hone your skills, your imagining skills, and again, lights up your frontal lobe, and it makes you smile. What could be wrong with that? Nothing. There's nothing wrong with smiling, and it feels good to smile, especially if you're not feeling good, especially if you don't even want to feel like smiling. That'll help you smile right away. Okay. Just a plug, a shameless plug. Make sure you get your Create My Day journal. Okay. The link is in the description below. And then when I put the banner on, it'll be in there too. Okay. All right. So tonight's topic, Sydney, what does Jericho have to do with us in our imagination? Well, I'm going to tell you. All right. You know me. I was asking Spirit, what should I talk about today on Friday? Because tomorrow I'm not going to be live, but I am going to have some shows for Saturday and Sunday. Okay. Make sure you check those out because it'll be important when we go live on Monday and I ask you questions. But anyway, so Sydney, what does Jericho got to do with us? Well, I'm going to tell you. Spirit said, I said, what am I talking about today, Spirit? Spirit said Jericho. I was like, Jericho? Jericho. I was like, all right. I had to go look it up. Then I got a download. All right. So why Jericho? And why are we doing praise and thanksgiving and, assuming that it is real and acting as if? Well, we want to talk about our conscious and our subconscious thoughts, right? This is what we're doing and our feeling. We're marrying those together. We're marrying our thought with our feeling, right? We have our conscious thought, our waking thought, our intellect. We have our subconscious thought that, does all the work. And then we have our feeling, right? So we want our feeling and our thought to match so that our subconscious thought can take our order properly, right? Our subconscious, God within you, your spirit handles all the details. When we give it the order, it goes and figures out who, what, how, right? We're just placing the order. So if you think about when you order something, right, okay, let's go back to the pizza. When you order a pizza, right, you tell them the toppings that you want. You tell them, how you want it fixed, basically. I want a large pie. Me, normally, it would be a large pie, very thin crust. I like it well done. I like it crispy. Okay. And that's it. Deliver it. Here's my money. Okay. I'm done. I'm finished. I don't need to know who's making the pizza. Right. I don't need to know how they're making the pizza. Okay. I don't need to know who's delivering it. I would like to know about, I may estimate the time, but that's it. I make my order, I place it, and I wait. That's faith, right? That is faith. You make your order, you place it, and you wait for the delivery. You have faith in the pizza man, in the pizza restaurant, pizza woman. That's the same kind of faith you need to have in your subconscious and your God self, and knowing, and that's why we're doing this work. When doubt sets in, then chaos and confusion just run rampant. You get the wiki wackies. Then you get on the wiki wacky train to hell, right? That thing's got momentum. And you're trying to get off. Sydney, help me. Okay, I'm reaching out my hand to you right now. Okay? All right. So today's topic is Jericho. So it kind of dovetails into what we were talking about last night and the night before. And I know that there's a city spoken of in the Bible, and if you read it, you read the Bible, you was in kind of Christian and growing up and all that. I used to be a Jehovah's Witness. It's another long story, and you know about the story, right? Maybe you've heard it, and if you didn't, we're going to go over it tonight. And why is that important? Because I don't really care what your religion is, right? I don't really care about that. And really, spirit doesn't really care about it either, right? Your subconscious doesn't care if you're a Jehovah's Witness, if you're a Christian, if you're a Jewish person, if you're Muslim, if you believe in Buddha. It all works the same. It's about faith. It's about marrying your thought process, your conscious thought with your feeling, and giving the orders to your subconscious and letting it go. That's it. That's all. No respecter of people, no respecter of persons. Doesn't matter who you are. You can work it and you can use it to your advantage. We're all equipped and we all have that power. Let's just get that out of the way, okay? Secondly, I want to just stop for a second, because those of us who've been in the Indigo Room for many years, and we started studying Neville, that's when I found out, I don't know about anybody else, 2009 and 2010, that this book is allegory for the most part, okay? Allegory. And some people take it literal. They can do that if they want to. I ain't mad at them, and they shouldn't be mad at me. But when I found out, I was like, what? What? Because, when you're raised in a religious kind of background, you got a religious kind of background, especially being a Jehovah's Witness, you think God hates you. God just hates my black ass. I don't know why he put me here on this planet to be dealing with this kind of nonsense. Right? Why, God? Why? Then I find Neville. And we find out that it's allegory, right? I kind of felt it. And that's why he resonated so much with me. And what does allegory mean? Allegory means, I'm going to give you the definition, a story, a poem, or picture that can be interpreted to reveal a hidden meaning or message, something like that. Like Aesop's fables, like that, right? So typically the meaning is a moral one or a political one, right? However, in reading Neville, you find that it's talking directly to your imagination and your subconscious, your heart, your spirit. That's what it's talking to. So Yas Gold said, yes, yes, yes. All right now. So with that being said, All right. Maybe you'll look at the text of this book a little bit differently. Okay. So I want to just listen. I don't care if you believe either that Jericho was a real place. I don't care. I don't care about that. Don't matter to me. Does not matter to me. And if you believe it was a real place, then fine. Have at it. I'm not mad at you. You can still take a listen. And it should not really make any difference to you or concern for you if I believe it was a real place or I don't believe it was a real place. All right. So just throw that out your mind and follow along with where we're going tonight. So I want to read to you a little bit about Jericho from the Bible. I have the NIV version, right? The NIV version, NIV, right? And if we go to Joshua, the book of Joshua, and I'm not going to read the whole thing because we could be here all night, right? It's chapter 6. And in the first couple of chapters, they're talking about, what the Lord said to Joshua, right? And that Jericho was shut up tight. It was this big, huge city, walls that were just immensely huge, thick, couldn't penetrate it. Okay. And Joshua heard from Spirit, God said, "See, I have delivered Jericho into your hands, along with its kings and its fighting men. March around the city once with all the armed men. Do this for 6 days. Have 7 priests carry trumpets of ram's horns in front of the ark. On the 7th day, march around the city seven more times. And with the priests blowing the trumpets. And when you hear them sound a long blast on the trumpets, have all the people give a loud shout. Then the wall of the city will collapse and the people will go up, every man straight in." Now, I just want to stop there for a minute. If it's cold outside, so my nose is running. It's cold in here. If you got that message, right? Think about it. Now we're not talking about the allegory part. We're talking about the real part, right? So here's Joshua minding his business, right? And God says to Joshua, "Listen, this is what I want you to do. I want you to run up on there, you and the people. And when you hear this loud sound, then I want you to make a loud shout and the walls will come tumbling down." Now, if that was me, I would have been like, "Oh, really, God? That's what you want me to do? You want me to go tell these hard-headed people to go do that?" So Joshua, the son of Nun, called the priests and said to them, "Take up the ark of the covenant of the Lord and have 7 priests carry trumpets in front of it." And he ordered the people, "Advance, march around the city with the armed guard going ahead of the ark of the Lord." So when Joshua had spoken to the people, the 7 priests carrying the 7 trumpets before the Lord went forward, blowing their trumpets. And the ark of the covenant, of the Lord's covenant, followed them. The armed guard marched ahead of the priests who blew the trumpets, and the rear guard followed the ark. All this time the trumpets were sounding. But Joshua had commanded the people, "Do not give a war cry. Do not raise your voices. Do not say a word until the day that I tell you to shout. And then shout." So he had the ark of the Lord carried around the city, circling it at once. And then the people returned to the camp and spent the night. So they had to do that for 6 days. Okay. So they did that for 6 days. Circle. Just circling. And this is what you're doing. Well, I'll get to that. On the 7th day, They got up at daybreak and marched around the city 7 more times. Okay. And in the same manner, except on that day, they circled the city. Except on that day, they circled the city 7 times. The 7th time around, when the priest sounded the trumpet blast, Joshua commanded the people, "Shout, for the Lord has given you the city. And the city and all that is in it are to be devoted to the Lord." And only Rahab, the prostitute, they only saved the prostitute. Okay? The prostitute and her people. Okay? They scooped them out of there. And when the trumpet sounded, so I'm jumping down to verse 20, and it says, when the trumpet sounded, the people shouted, and at the sound of the trumpet, when the people gave a loud shout, the wall collapsed. So every man charged straight in, and they took the city. Okay, so Sydney, what does that got to do with us? All right. First of all, when we look in our metaphysical Bible dictionary on who Joshua represents, it'll start to make a little bit more sense, I think. So let's go look at who Joshua represents in the metaphysical Bible dictionary, right? They say he's the son of Nun and he's Moses, right hand and all that. But when you go to the meta dictionary, now I know why they wanted me to talk about Jericho. Joshua means Jah is savior, Jehovah is deliverer. In the Hebrew, the name is identical with the name Jesus. And both these names are derived from the word Jehovah, meaning, guess what? Take a guess. Can anybody guess what that means? We discussed this in the Indigo Room 2019, so I'm going to bring it back. Can anybody think about what that means? Yad-Hah-Veh, Yad-Hah-Veh. Remember? I am that I am, right? I am that I am. What's I am? What are we doing? We do our I am statements, right? We're talking about allegory. When I was looking at this today, I went, oh, see, I didn't even realize. Okay? So I'm learning right along with y'all. Okay? See? I understood about the Jericho, the walls came tumbling down, shout out to God, praise and thanksgiving and all that. But I didn't get that. So now we see that Jehovah means I am that I am, and the only difference between Joshua and Jesus is the extent of conscious realization of identity with the I am. So under certain states of mind, the I am in man acquires greatly increased power. This power has its foundation in spiritual understanding. Joshua took the children of Israel into the promised land, so it is through the power of our I am indwelling Christ that we lay hold of and attain the redemption of our life forces. And it goes on to explain a little bit more about Joshua and how he represents this, right? The I am within us. So what does Jericho, if that's the I am, what's Jericho? So let's go look at Jericho. And the definitions of Jericho express relative terms. That is, they stand in a state of dependence on the absolute. The word expresses the elemental soul, life, mind, spirit, reflected breath, and mind, the outer intellectual, in contrast to the inner. So okay, let me just finish. Let me finish. Let me not jump ahead. To the eye, this is true today. Oh, talking about the moon does not shine with its own light, but merely reflects the light of the sun. Before astronomy was a science, men thought the moon emitted its own light. To the eye, this is true today, but the scientific mind knows better. So it's talking about the intellect, okay? The relation of the sun to the moon is that of the intellect to the spirit. So Jericho represents our intellect, right? Our conscious mind. And, we need our intellect, right? We do need our mind because our mind works well with our subconscious. Our conscious works with our subconscious. We didn't understand how to train it to work with our subconscious and our feelings. We didn't get that training, or we did, but we forgot. And now, here comes Sydney with the Jericho and Joshua story. Okay, so the intellect seems to express the light of understanding, but the science of being reveals that it shines by reflected light. So many of us, right, think that, oh, I thought of that. I got it out of my brain. I'm so smart. It's a reflection of your subconscious, right? However, we can never cut off our God self, right? We can never just cut God off, but we can stop paying attention to it, right? And just focus on what we got going on up here, right? And after a while, we're not using we haven't employed our God self. We haven't rustled it up. I remember I used to hear somebody say a long time ago, you have God's within you and it's like he's asleep. I was like, well, how do I wake him up? My God self needs to wake up, okay? My goddess self. I call it Mother, Father, God. Goddess. Mother, Father, Goddess. It says, even as the moon is part of our planetary system, so the intellect has a legitimate place in consciousness. Of course it does. It is when intellect becomes egotistical, right? Thinks that it originates its own light and forms the adverse consciousness called devil. The devil made me do it. Flip Wilson. I couldn't remember his name to save my life the other day. Flip Wilson. I was that on my sweater. Flip Wilson. The devil made me do it. Or carnal mind that is out of harmony with the divine. That is that's pretty powerful. This is the definition of Jericho. So Luke 19:1 mentions that Jesus Christ, I am, passed through Jericho, intellect, passed through Jericho, the old noggin, in his redemptive work. And that is what we are doing here in the Indigo Room, okay, with our AAPT series. We are circling around our own Jericho, okay? Your own Jericho are your own wiki-wacky doubts, fears, anxiety, anxiousness, hatred, egotistical, all of that. We're circling around that to kind of bring those walls down so that your conscious mind can merge with your faith and give the right directions to your subconscious mind so that you can manifest the dreams and desires that you want to be, do, and have. It also goes on further to say that Jericho represents human consciousness in its relation to life. The water symbolizes, this is in 2 Kings, when 2 Kings 4, when they're talking about the moon city refers to the life center in the lower part of the abdomen. And it says the water symbolizes the issues of life. The land signifies the body. So when man is firmly established in his spiritual dominion, faith, feeling, imagination, get rid of the wiki-wacky as best we can, is firmly established in his spiritual dominion, all his thoughts, the men of the city. Your thoughts are represented in Jericho by the men of the city. Okay? Turn to the I am for purification and healing. This is the explanation of the healing that took place by Elijah in the book of 2 Kings. So the men of the city, those people in the city that Joshua, who represents our I am, our subconscious, our faith, had to go in and circle around, wait for the feeling, right? You got to manifest the feeling, and then you get the click, you get that impregnation, you get the knowing, you let out. Oh my goodness, I feel so good. You wake up in the wish fulfilled in the morning, right? You're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this. But you got to be like the people, the story, right? They circled around day and night, right? It says they circled around day and night. Let's go back. And Joshua got up early the next morning, and the priests took the horn, and the 7 priests carrying the 7 trumpets went forward, marching before the ark of the Lord, and armed men went ahead of them, and the rear guard followed behind. And it says that they encircled it, and kept going around and going around and going around for 6 days. Were they tired? I'm sure they were. Did they have doubts? I don't know. I probably would have. That's what we're doing now. When we are spending our time in our imagination, right? Assuming the wish fulfilled, you have to marry these consciousness with this feeling again, so you can give the directions to your subconscious, and then your subconscious goes on about doing its business and bringing down those walls of Jericho so that you could go into the city and grab up Rahab, which is what, the things that you need, be, do, and have, the one that they call the prostitute, and have your manifestation. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions about Jericho and why this is called the Jericho episode tonight? Did you understand what I just said? Take off my glasses so I can see you. That's one of the things I'm working on, just so you know. Oh. Does anybody have any questions about why now this is connected to what we are doing here in the Indigo Room? Funke. Understood. It's deep. Yep. It sure enough is, right? When I sat down to prepare myself for tonight, I was like, what? Wait a minute. I didn't realize that. See, you think you know everything, right? And then Spirit comes along and says, and I said, Spirit, what are we talking about tonight? Spirit comes along and says, Jericho. Really? Jericho? Why? We're talking about, we're talking about manifesting our dreams and desires. Yeah, we're doing Jericho tonight. Okay, all right. Go look it up. Okay. Yas Gold. Yes. Linda. Yes, I understood. Where's Miss Barb? Miss Barb? All right. Okay. So that, if you have a Bible dictionary, you can look it up. But what I am going to do is put all of that together in like a little PDF. And I will put it, if you want me to, I will put it in the Gumroad section, right? So you can, I'm going to put the banners up. So you can follow us. You can follow the link down below for Gumroad and follow that. And as soon as that gets released and I'm finished with that, and I put it all in the PDF for you guys, and you can have it and you can check that out yourself. You know, this is my Bible dictionary. It's not me. I didn't make it up. I read straight from the Bible from here and straight from my Bible dictionary. I don't know if it's going to pop up. Yeah, the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary. And you can look up Jericho yourself, and you can look up Joshua yourself. Okay, and I'll put that in the Gumroad. Put that in the Gumroad as a PDF that you can download for free and have it for yourself. So, you know, as you continue to do this type of work, as you get better at it, Barb said something happened. I lost audio and then the whole thing, but I heard and understand too. Okay, Barb. Awesome. So as you get better at this, as we all get better at this, this will be something that you can fall back on later. You might not even need it later on, but it's there for you. It'll be there for you. You know, if you only get it for free, you only can get it from me if you follow me on Gumroad. If you don't follow Gumroad, then I can't email it to you and you can't get the download. All right. So this is our check-in now. Oh, another thing. If you would like to support the Indigo Room, you can do that by liking, subscribing, leaving a comment, or you can send a love donation to our Cash App. The Cash App is on the screen and it's also below, and so is the PayPal link. So, how are you all doing? This is our check-in. How did you do this week? Today, not this week, today. How did you do today? How was your day? Did you have any challenges? Did you have any aha moments? I was just freezing pretty much most of the day, but I got my website back working. Woo! I knew I was going to get it. I sat here this morning. I was doing my meditation. I do my prayer. I meditate and I read, right? And then in my meditation, I was like, God, spirit, subconscious mind, the intelligence that's in my subconscious mind knows. It knows how to fix this website. I got in there this morning. Got up early too. I didn't even have to set my alarm. I told my subconscious I want to wake up at 6:30. I woke up at 6:30. I didn't get out of bed. But I woke up, right? I woke up at 6:30. And then when I came and I sat down and I did my work, I figured it out. It was like no wiki wacky whatsoever. So I manifested my work and fixing my website today. And that was good. So Yas Gold, one thing, Sydney, as it is said, this was a battle. And sometimes it's like a battle trying to manifest, speaking for myself. Okay. I don't want it to be a battle. Okay. It's not supposed to be a battle, right? I know it feels like one sometimes, but it's not supposed to be a battle. What it is supposed to be is you focusing, stop trying to manifest it. I would say that. Stop trying to manifest anything. Don't try. All you want to do is decide what it is that you want, which I believe you did, right? and create that scenario. That's it. Create one scenario that would imply that it's already done. And if you can't do the acting as if it's already done, just replace the wiki-wacky thoughts with more of your affirmations. That's acting as if, right? Replace them with your affirmations and your I am statements, and then sleep in the wish fulfilled. I don't want you, this should not be something that you're forcing at all, right? And a lot of times, I know for me, when I first really decided to get on the ball, the first time I actually applied this, I didn't force anything. Okay. I wasn't trying to manifest anything, but I knew I had to have this, surgery. I just knew I had to have that. That was a matter of fact. I don't know, I had no idea how long it was going to take. I had no way of knowing any of that. All I knew was I had to have this surgery, and I'm not paying for this. Okay. God's got it. God's handling it. So I wasn't really trying to manifest anything. I was just certain as I am as sitting in this chair, that had to get done. I don't know how, don't know who, I don't know what, didn't care, didn't matter. That's not my job. And then I went on about my business, during the day. And anytime some crazy thoughts came in of, doubt or worry or fear or whatever, I'll be like, yeah, no, we're not. Step back. Right. And remember, if you can, as best as you can, try to get into that calm, peaceful state, that calm, impregnated state, if that makes sense to you, Yazgo. Barb said, that's great. Thanks for the PDF. Looking forward to it. You're welcome. You're welcome. Linda says, I had 2 wiki-wacky trains today. You sure did, right? She said, I reached out to Sydney to help, and the trains left without me. That's right. We're not trying to get on the wiki-wacky train to hell. We've been on that too many times. And it was my pleasure to be able to assist you today, Linda. Barb said, I had some challenges feeling like my mind wasn't working well at work. My I am statement when I am strong in body, mind, spirit. I remember, I know, I think, and feel well. And then I had that lapse. You had the lapse of not working well. I think I remember, I know, I think, and feel well. And then I had that lapse. Funke said, today was a brighter day. I've been reading Joseph Murphy, Power of Subconscious Mind. The book is so helpful, right? That book is amazing. I told you my book is falling apart. I have to get a new one, but I don't want to let this one go because it's got all my highlights and my notes in it. I just keep pasting it back together. I love that book. I'm going to say in the beginning when I first read him, because I was reading Neville and Dr. Joseph Murphy, Dr. Joseph Murphy did not resonate with me as much as he does now. And I thought he was too clinical, right? I was like, I read it, I got it, but it didn't really hit me at all. Not the way Neville hit me. And now, after having studied Neville for so long and pop over to Dr. Joseph Murphy, I'm like, okay, I get you. I see you, son. Because then I did more science reading and more, less, yeah, more scientific, like Greg Braden and Dr. Lipton and a couple of other scientific books that were similar but not quite, And now when I read Dr. Joseph Murphy, wow, wow, wow. Now that I've, not now, but, after in the beginning when he first didn't resonate with me. Yeah, that book will definitely help. I think has that book, if I'm not mistaken. Barb says, so I have some reinforcing to do. Underlying fear that being older and working such busy jobs is too much now for me, a woman of a certain age. Yeah. See, that's a block that we might want to work on with the meditation, removing that thought, that anchor. I had that going back to school, right? That feeling of, everybody was smarter than me, number one. And I'm probably the oldest person in the class, number two. And number three, my teachers were, in their 30s. Okay. But I loved them because I learned so much from them. And I had to actually really reframe this whole getting older thing and being a woman of a certain age, right? So now I stopped saying that to myself. I'm a woman of a certain age. I only say that to you guys now because y'all don't know how old I am and you don't need to know that. But I'm going to tell you soon. I think, I don't know, maybe pop, I don't know. It all depends. But letting go of that concept is really freeing, right? It's really, really freeing. And you're doing an amazing job. You get compliments all the time. So one of your statements might be, I am really good at my job, or, I am learning so much and I'm fantastic, right? Because if you think about it, there are so many older women who have thrived, right? Well into their 80s. And look at Betty White and Cicely Tyson. Okay. So you're not there yet. Yas Gold. Yes. Thank you, Sydney. And yes, you do. You do have that book, right? So you might want to reread that. Start rereading that again. And really like absorb it. Like take some notes. I don't know if you did that before, but take some notes, put them in your journal, in your daily planner. But you want to not force this, right? Because your belief is not matching what you're feeling. And so if you're forcing yourself to believe it, then you're going to keep getting the same result. So this series that we're doing is for you to be able to learn how to sleep in the wish fulfilled, right? Just learn how to do it. That's it. And learn how to act as if, and then develop new habits. That's what this 30 days is for you guys. It's for you to develop new habits of doing this, on a regular basis. Make it a part of your daily routine. Because if you fall off, right, you become inconsistent, then you get inconsistent results. Believe me, I've done that. Inconsistent results. When I manifested that $50,000 and the surgery, I was in a lot of pain, right? I didn't have the money to pay those people. And the nurse kept telling me that, the nurse at the doctor's office kept telling me I was not going to have that surgery. Where's your faith? What? How you telling me that? Got his little "Do you believe in Jesus" pamphlet in his breast pocket, trying to convert me. I was like, son, you don't know. You don't know the power, right? I'm going. That I'm going. It's already done. I didn't know when. Had no clue. Nobody said to me, Sydney, this is how it's gonna work. I just kept my blinders on. I watched TV, I watched movies, I ate food, I laid on my couch because I couldn't go nowhere. I stayed on my couch every day. Every day. People come knocking on my door. We need this money. Calling me on my phone, sending me bills. I had a stack of bills like this high. So it's just important to relax, right? Don't get agitated or anxious and anxiety filled. That's when, you know, you're forcing it. And when you catch yourself trying to force it, chill. Just put some praise music on, or, just sit someplace and be calm, do some deep breaths, and just relax as best you can. And say thank you. Just keep the one thing that works to me more than anything else is if you just keep repeating thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you over and over. And then eventually it just becomes your go-to. Like today, sometimes I caught myself. I was like, oh, you just saying thank you, thank you, thank you. There's nothing going on. I just caught myself thanking, saying it out loud for no reason. There is plenty of reasons, but I'm just saying, like, there was no, most of the time we've been conditioned to say thank you after the fact. Signs don't follow. I'm sorry. Signs don't precede. They don't come first. They follow what we do on the inside. So whatever we're doing on the inside, the manifestations will start to show up on the outside. That's a fact. So just do your best to be calm, poised, and unbothered by it all if you can. Yeah, I hate that term. I think this is a good thing because I have to face that block and unkey that chain and say bye. Yep. Let it go. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Remember, I told you, whatever it is, let it go. Don't turn around, pick it back up. Okay, so I hope that helped you, y'all. If you need more clarification, just send me an email. We can just set up a chat. Okay? But you do want to just try to be more, not too, don't, if you can, actually, I think you said, well, whatever, I think I remember what you said you were working on, right? How about you work on something entirely different that is not attached to that thing? Do something else. Focus on something else now. That's already done. It's already done. Now go focus on, I don't know, a pizza, creating that, right? Or go create $5, right? Or $50 or something like that. Let that go. That part is done already. You already did it. It's over. Let it go. Now, go create something else. Work on that. Because then that'll take your mind off of that thing that you think you have to have and be doing. It's not working. It's just you're having a hard time. Change it. Let's go create something different. And so what you're doing now is you're releasing it so that spirit can go ahead and do its business, right? And anytime the wicky wacky thoughts come in about that thing, reach for your I am statements, reach for your affirmations, right? It's already done. I'm speaking the word. It's already done. Now I need you to focus on something different. How about we create plants? Do you like plants? What is the one thing you like that you want that you haven't had for a long time? Let's think about that. Okay? Because oftentimes when you let that thing go, once you've done it in your imagination and then you finish and you let it go, that gives, it's like, tonight I couldn't think of, for the longest time, I couldn't think of Flip Wilson's name, right? When he says, the devil made me do it, right? I brought I was, oh my goodness, it was so, I couldn't think of it. And everybody was, I wanted to share with this one person. I couldn't think of it. I said, you know that guy, blah, 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 blah. And tonight, I'm not thinking about Flip Wilson. Flip Wilson comes into my mind. Boom, ding. There it is. That person's long gone, right? But now I thought of it. That often happens when we let stuff go. So just let it go. And then the answer will show up. All right. So, okay, with that being said, remember, I want to encourage you all to sleep in the wish fulfilled, right? Act as if it's already done. Praise and thanksgiving. And if you're new to the channel and you haven't been here before and this is your first time here, I would love for you to check out the first video, the one I was just talking about. That's the one that kicked it off. That'll be there. And then the one from last night will be here. And then you can subscribe to the channel right here. And I also am going to put the playlist over here, right? That'll have all 20 days of what we're doing. There is a playlist here on the Indigo Room for all the videos. It's actually called, Assume That It's Real, Act As If It's Already Done, Praise and Thanksgiving. It's a whole playlist. So you can follow that playlist if you need to, find certain videos. It'll all be in the playlist. I might put it in the card too. Remember who you are. Remember that you are source energy right here in a physical body. Remember that you can be, do, and have anything that you desire. And remember, it's not being extraordinary that makes you unique. It is your uniqueness that makes you extraordinary. So I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. And I hope that you sleep well. Okay, hold on. How about the recipe to your split pea soup? All right, now, see? I can manifest that for you. I can manifest that for you. That split pea soup tastes so delicious. But everybody have a great night. And I will see you all in the next video. I love you.